Hello y'all, Jason Meeks here. Today I want to share this video about different events that I believe we're just on the very brink of unfolding here in America. Okay, these are several different events that the Holy Spirit either showed me in a dream, vision, or some manner of revelation. And these events I previously have shared, at least most of them, I've shared on my Instagram page, but I haven't shared it in a video, and especially not in any type of detail form. Okay, so the first event was a vision I had on March the 28th of last year. Okay, this particular vision I had was about President Joe Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, in the vision, I'm just going to tell you what I seen in the vision and what I believe the interpretation of the vision to be. In this particular vision that I had in March of last year, I seen Joe Biden. He was dying. Okay, I seen him. He was on the floor. I can tell in the vision that he was dying, and he handed two food bags while he was on the floor dying, like in his last dying actions. He grabbed two food bags and he handed them to Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, and in the food bags inside, you can see President Biden's bloody thumbprint inside of each bag. Okay, and I remember Vice President Harris grabbing these bags, and she wanted to hold on to these. She wanted to keep these bags as keepsake in the memory and honor of President Biden. Okay. So this is what I believe that vision to represent. I believe that visions represent Joe Biden being removed one way or the other from his presidency, and that he's going to be handing the last 2 years of his presidency is going to be handed over to Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, I don't know if the vision was literal, that it's going to be from death, but I do believe in some form or fashion that these last 2 years coming up of Joe Biden's presidency is going to be handed over to Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, and as far as the bloody thumbprints inside the bags, I believe what those are representing is the DNA of President Biden's policies. That these last 2 years that Kamala Harris is going to be that she's going to take over as president. Okay, it's going to have the DNA of President Biden's policies. So basically, the same things that he has implemented as president, his same wishes as president, Kamala Harris is going to keep those things and continue to proceed in the things that President Biden has established and wants to establish. So it's going to be basically like the same policies, just a different person in headship and leadership. Okay, and I also believe that's what it means that she wanted to hold on to the bags in his honor. I think she's going to continue to in the honor of the Biden. She's going to continue to pursue after those things that he pursued after, pursue after different laws and regulations and policies that he was going to pursue. So that was that vision. And like I said, this happened on March the 28th of last year, 2021. And just in a brief recap, the vision showed President Biden dying and handing Vice President Kamala Harris 2 food bags that had his bloody thumbprints inside, and she held on to those bags for his honor. Interpretation of this vision is that these last 2 years of President Biden's presidency will be handed over to Kamala Harris. I don't know if it's going to be through death or just some type of way. This 25th Amendment, I believe it's the 25th Amendment, is going to be taking place in which Kamala Harris is going to take leadership and become, by virtue of Biden, one way or the other, being removed, she's going to become president. Whether, like I said, he's going to be removed some kind of way. I don't know if it's going to be by death or what. That's what the vision was showing. He was dying, but that's not always, visions and dreams, not always literal interpretations. A lot of times the visions I get are more literal than figurative. But with that said, nonetheless, Kamala Harris, she's going to have 2 years. She's going to be handed the last 2 years of the presidency of Joe Biden. Okay, so the next order of business. And before I say that, that's why, like, we're in September now. So to actually have, I guess, 2 full years, this, has to kind of take place here pretty soon. And that's why I feel like sharing this video and this vision of this thing at this time. If you are familiar with my Instagram page, I share this as well as other visions and dreams that the Lord gives me about different things, a lot of different things. It's a lot easier to share in Instagram post than to record a video. Therefore, a lot of times I share these things first on Instagram. Okay, I will leave the name of my Instagram in the description of this video. So if you want to check it out and see other things that the Lord has revealed to me. Okay, the next thing is about Nancy Pelosi. Okay, back on December 3rd of last year, 2021, I remember being in my bed. I believe it was the time when I just woke up out of sleep. And this is a time, if you've seen my videos, you've heard me say it time after time. This is a time in which you're very prone to the supernatural realm, when you're that moment of time in between sleep and awake. Very, very prone for supernatural encounters. Okay, and this particular encounter, I had a vision. And now all I remember seeing is Nancy Pelosi, and it was like she was losing her mind. I remember in the vision, her head was just going back and forth, and then she eventually just passed out. Okay, and I attributed this to represent some type of heavy stress or anxiety. And I still attribute that this is what this is about. That it's just, I think she's just going to be overwhelmed with a lot of different things happening in her professional life, or I should say political life, as well as in her personal life. And it's going to be so overwhelming, and it's going to cause so much stress, so much anxiety, and it's just going to be too much for her. Okay. One of these things that I believe I mentioned personal life here, because on August the 5th of this year, 2022, I had a vision that I'm not going to really share the whole vision here. I only shared the vision to my wife and a very prominent pastor, prophet that I know, and because of the details of it. But anyway, just in short, I seen in this vision that there was an attack in her personal life to her household. Okay, that's what I saw in this vision. And I wouldn't have any problem sharing this vision in totality with you all, but it's just that the way I had this vision, it actually has me questioning it. And I've been going back and forth. I was like, did I see that or did I not? Because I know a way in which I typically receive visions from the Lord, and this way was seemed a little different. However, the thing that make me even now still believe the validity of this vision is the fact that it was pertaining to something that I didn't even know existed, something that I didn't even know there was a reality until I believe it was about a week or so after I had this vision. And when I saw that, the reality of that, I was like, okay, I think this is valid. Because sometimes we can talk ourselves out of experiences we had by saying, "Oh, was that our mind?" Or was that something we were thinking? And that's how I am with this vision. But I saw something, like I said, it happened in her personal life, in her house, to her household. Okay, some very tragic experience. Okay, and it was very deep and very personal to Nancy Pelosi. This is what I seen in the vision, and I believe that this could be why. A big reason why the previous vision on December 3rd of last year is going to happen, why she's going to be to the point of just being overwhelmed. I believe would be if this thing happens the way I seen it, it would definitely be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Okay, now there's a third thing with Nancy Pelosi. Okay, and this happened. This is the most recent of the experience that I'm going to share in this video, because this happened on September 11th, just a couple days ago. So September 11th, 2022. Okay, I heard in the spirit realm a voice say, in reference to Nancy Pelosi, someday she's going to get what she deserves. I heard this in the spirit realm. Okay, I'm going to say this to you all so you all can understand me. I have no political bias whatsoever. I just want to see the will of God be done in the earth. I have nothing personally against nothing personal against these political figures. As anyone, I want to see people, surrender themselves to the Lord and to, use their platforms, their political platforms to glorify God. And of course, we don't see that happening with a lot of these political figures. But to myself, there's no personal bias with these people. I'm sharing what I know that the Lord has shown me in visions and dreams, and in this case, a voice that I heard in the spirit realm. Now, this happened, like I said, on September 11th, just a couple of days ago. I was laying in my bed, getting ready to go to sleep, and I had this video in mind. I was just kind of saying, just kind of thinking what I was going to share in this video. And the moment I the thought came to my mind about Nancy Pelosi, that's when I heard this voice in the spirit realm. It was not audible, it was in the spirit realm. And it said, someday she's going to get what she deserves. Now, that's tough right there. That's tough. When a presence in the spirit realm is saying that about you, that is deep. That is tough. When your neighbor, your buddy, your teacher, or whatever, somebody like that, or somebody else in politics say that to you, okay, that's one thing. But when there's a voice in the spirit realm saying these things that someday you're going to get what you deserve, that is deep and that is heavy. And I tell you, that is frightening. That is very frightening when a being from the spirit realm is saying this. So I don't know, what all, happening behind the scenes with these political leaders, whatever. But like I said, I know that voice. I've heard that same voice in the spirit realm several different times now. And every time I hear it, it says something that happens. Okay, it says something that happens. Okay, it says something that comes to relevancy. Okay, so like I said, that's heavy. That's really heavy right there. And I heard it, and it's deep. And like I said, so that's three things in reference to Nancy Pelosi. Okay, the next thing. Okay, on August the 15th of this year, I had this revelation, and I'll kind of explain it a little bit in further detail here when I say revelation, about a major attack that's going to be it's going to be a major attack involving law enforcement in New York. A major attack. I shared this in my Instagram as a major attack to law enforcement, or I'm not sure exactly how I worded it. It was either a major attack to law enforcement or a major attack against law enforcement in New York. But this is it's gonna be some type of major attack that law enforcement is gonna be heavily involved with. Some type of major attack is gonna happen in New York. Okay, how did I come to this? I did not have a vision of this. I did not have a dream of this. And I didn't so much hear in the spirit realm. It was just I did. Let me say this. I didn't hear it in the same manner that I heard about the Dennis Rodman thing. I didn't hear it in the same manner as I heard about the Nancy Pelosi thing. I heard it, but it was just in a different manner, and I'll try my best to explain. Okay, so I had just woken up from a series of supernatural dreams and visions on the personal level. Okay, so anytime you have these prophetic dreams and visions, then that means that the realm of the spirit, God has opened up the realm of the spirit to you. Okay, so after the series of these visions and dreams I had on the personal level about personal matters, the realm of the spirit was still open even after this. The realm of the spirit was still open. Angel of the Lord maybe was still in my room. I don't know, but the realm of the spirit was still open. And I heard in a more subtle mode in the spirit realm, major attack, law enforcement, New York. Major attack, law enforcement, New York. Those are the three things that I heard on this morning of August the 15th of this year, 2022. Major attack, law enforcement, New York. Now, being that I did not have this experience in the same manner that I've had a lot of these other experiences, such as visions and dreams, and the fact that it hasn't happened yet, it was kind of making me want to doubt that, okay, did I hear this right? And I'm like, did I hear this right? Did I interpret it right? What exactly is I know the realm of the spirit was open. I know I heard something. This is not something I'm just randomly thinking of when I wake up first thing in the morning about some attack with law enforcement in New York. So I know it has to be something to this. But the fact that it's been almost a month now and it hasn't happened, and I say that not thinking that everything has to happen right away, but I know this a lot of times when I have these certain type of revelations, they normally happen more speedily than later. Okay, but with that said, a month still is not a very long time. So, like I said, I was doubting this thing. Then, just recently, just a couple of days ago, I heard a similar word from a very prominent prophet that you all would know if you heard him. Heard a very similar word from this prophet about a major attack happening in New York. So the Lord knows this has been on my heart, for a while. Like, okay, did I really hear this? And I believe the Lord allowed me to see that video to confirm that, yes, you did really hear that. And this is indeed, it's going to happen. So I'm telling you, there's going to be some type of major attack in New York. And it's going to involve law enforcement. I don't know if it's going to be some direct attack against law enforcement, or it's going to be something that brings out a massive amount of law enforcement because of this major attack. Okay, but nevertheless, it's going to happen. Okay, so the very last thing I'm going to share here is about former President Barack Obama. Okay, on July the 30th, and all the stuff that I'm sharing with you now, I've shared on my Instagram, so you know that I'm not just making it up as I go. I've shared it. It's timestamped, so you see this information on my Instagram page. Okay, on July 30th, I seen a vision of Barack Obama. He was dressed in a doctor's uniform, and he was just walking down this long hallway. Okay, and I knew it had to have something to do with him, his presence and influence in healthcare. And I know that just a few days after that, inflation bill or something like that got passed, and that expanded Obamacare. So even if that's it, that vision came to pass. Even if that's just as simple as that, as the passing of the expansion of Obamacare, that is enough. But I think it may be something more to it than that also. But like I said, that even if that is that, then that's still the holy experience, because that did come to pass. He was wearing a doctor's uniform, and he was walking down this hallway, and I knew that meant that he was going to have some type of influence in the healthcare industry. Once again, this was going to come to the forefront pretty soon. And like I said, just a few days after that, that happened. That vision took place on July 30th. Just a few days after that, the Obamacare was expanded. Okay. So, but I want to bring another vision I had about Barack Obama to the forefront. And this vision I had on September the 10th of this year. So September 10th, 2022. And this was a very short vision. I just seen Barack Obama. He was waving. I'm using my left hand on this video because I'm holding my device with my right hand, but he was actually waving with his right hand as he was being celebrated. People was celebrating him. A crowd of people was celebrating him, and he was waving to them. I still don't know exactly what this meant, but I do know one or two things it means, because when you're waving, you're either saying hello or goodbye. Okay, so this either saying that some kind of way Obama's presence and influence is going to be again prevalent in some form or fashion in the political arena or something, but his presence is going to be, he's waving like, hello, I'm back, in some form or fashion politically, in some prominent role. It could be something he's doing behind the scenes that maybe is going to start coming more to the forefront about his involvement, or it's saying goodbye, and something's going to happen with him where he's going to be you're not going to hear from him anymore. Whatever that is, I don't know. But like I said, It means one of two things. When you're waving, you're saying hello or goodbye. People are, when they celebrate you while you're waving, they was either celebrating him, his coming back to the forefront, or something about him, some type of permanent exit from the political arena or something like that. But the fact that I had the vision, I know this very thing is going to happen. Okay, so that's four things that four different things about President Biden, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, New York, Barack Obama. These things that I had in visions or revelations, these things are going to come to pass. I believe we're on the cusp of it. Personally, I believe these things, we're going to see these things either unfold or start to unfold as we get, from now till the end of the year. We shall see. Timetable, your guess is as good as mine. But needless to say, I do believe, because these experiences I had, that these things are going to come to pass. What I would like for you to do is to share, different things that you may have seen, revelation the Holy Spirit has given you about these things, or your own personal interpretation of these matters. Until next time, be blessed.